to just quickly touch on the Arsenal-Man City game, I feel like Arsenal did themselves a world of good, yeah? It was a scrappy game, very tactical game. Both sides sort of like cancelled each other out, so it just needed one single moment.
It was an incredibly boring game.
Very,
the
very.
league has fallen off, and see when it was Liverpool and Man City going at it, all these exchanging players between each other, Pep hugging Arteta, all this cute stuff after the match.
What's this agenda,
It's
guys?
not real, but
What's
it's not even rivalry. It's like Pep and his little bro battling out for something kind of cute. He has allowed him win this one now. This isn't real, and that match was so boring. So, like play, Arsenal have beaten City for the first time in 8 years, first time in the Arteta Pep era. They're top of the table, they're still unbeaten. It's looking kind of real.
Yeah, they're top of the table, but they're not at the peak just yet. It's still Tottenham up there. But it's interesting to see that both North London clubs...
On goal difference, as in, so they are at the top of the table.
They are at the top, yeah, but maybe not just at the peak. So yeah, interesting. Both North London clubs doing really good this season so far. First and second.
Both unbeaten.
So yeah, that's very interesting to see. But to just quickly touch on the Arsenal-Man City game, I feel like Arsenal did themselves a world of good, yeah? It was a scrappy game, very tactical game. Both sides sort of like cancelled each other out, so it just needed one single moment.
It was an incredibly boring game.
Very,
the league has fallen off, and see when it was Liverpool and Man City going at it, all these exchanging players between each other, Pep hugging Arteta, all this cute stuff after the match.
What's this agenda, guys?
It's not real, but it's not even rivalry. It's like Pep and his little bro battling out for something kind of cute. He has allowed him win this one now. This isn't real, and that match was so boring. That was an incredibly boring.
Yeah.
I think both teams played it incredibly safe. They played like it was a final. Nobody was really trying to do too much, and it made for a boring game. Like, I want to see both teams going at it on full power. I want to see like a 4-3. I want to see entertain us now.
Yeah.
There was no entertainment.
It was one of those games where, I think we even called it, we expected to see a lot of goals, right? So it being like 0-0 until almost the end of the game.
Deflected effort,
and then it deflected effort on goal.
The only chances on target in the whole game.
Yeah, very, very few shots on target. Yeah, so it was good for Arsenal, but definitely bad for Man City.
Yeah,
that's their second loss. Man City's second loss this season.
Back to back. That hasn't happened under Pep since 2018. So we're in unprecedented.
So that's definitely something to for Man City fans to be worried about.
But for Arsenal fans, yeah, congratulations on your win. The game wasn't a good game, but they won't give a damn about that.
Most definitely.
They finally got in that monkey off their back. If Arsenal are going to win the title, like I said, they have to win this game.
These kinds of
games. You can't lose 6 points to the people in the title race when the league goes down to less than 10 points most of the time. They've won a game they had to win. They didn't have Saka for the first time in 100 years. Martinelli didn't start either, but in 100 years. But he came on and ball. Partey didn't start. Jorginho started. So you're seeing Arsenal use their squad better, and it looks like they're maturing.
Yeah, I think so. And I'll just quickly touch on Partey. He came in and he sort of like switch things up for them, or not necessarily switch things up, but then like calm things down for them, in the middle of the park, and then in defense as well.
And it was him to Tomiyasu to Havertz
and then to Martinelli for the goal.
So yeah, Arteta, he's had a great day at the office. He's gonna have a great week going into the international break. Arsenal fans are cozy.
Yeah, most definitely.
Top of the table, still unbeaten, and they beat to still be unbeaten after
they've beaten Manchester United and Man City.
Yep. Arsenal they've had a tough run of fixtures, and they've come out good, very much alive.
Very true.
But still on the game, another thing I noticed in this game that really annoyed me, because I'm on the referees' ass this season. I'm on them. After what they did, and so there was the Kovacic, the 2 challenges Kovacic made, which I think both of them individually were worse red cards than some of the ones we've seen recently, like the Gusto one, the Curtis Jones one, the Diogo Jota's second yellow card. He didn't even touch the player, so he got a second yellow card for missing the player. Kovacic went studs on the player twice and remained on the pitch. The consistency is actually just a joke now.
Exactly, and that's where the conversation is. But I feel like it's just prettying things up when you say consistency is the issue. The real issue is that these guys are crap. I promise you. It's not just consistency at this point, because you can say, oh, consistency, oh, I'm missing. But like every single game week, we're seeing English refs make silly calls.
They're the worst referees in the world, and we see
Silly
this
calls.
often. We don't see that many English referees on the world stage. All these guys are actually doing Premier League.
Yeah.
And maybe you see Michael Oliver at the World Cup and Champions League, but most of them don't get those calls.
And that's what's interesting because Michael Oliver was actually the referee in this Arsenal-Man City game, and he refused
They're the pick
to
of the
give,
bunch.
so he refused to give Kovacic a second yellow, which I think he should have under any circumstances.
I think the first one was a record. I think the second one was a record. They're both studs and could potentially be leg breakers. Like
honestly.
But yeah, I'm sure we'll keep
poor refereeing from English referees. I think a proper inquest should be made into
just
the
need better
PGM
quality. They just need to get them
it's
from
just-
international. Like
it's
Premier
just
League is one of
bad.
the richest leagues in
It's
the
just
world. Get the best referees and the people who see at the World Cup, people who see at the Champions League. Let's get
It's
them.
just really bad.
For the big games,
And the fact that there's even no black referee in the top flight in the Premier League at all.
it probably needs to be a whole
Like,
episode on an
what's
inquiry into
happening?
into the old boys
Right?
club that is the referee
Like,
association and
bro.
why that leads to what I deem as corruption in some parts. But we'll move on from that. Still on the Arsenal-Man City game, something that was noticed by fans all around the world was, well, not noticed, was Erling Haaland, who barely played a
Not
glove on.
noticed.
As in, he was barely there. I think this was the first match under City where he hasn't had a shot on target. It happened once against Spurs before. So another biggish game. And yeah, Haaland, when the team, without the super team, is looking...
It's looking sauce.
He's looking normal. So, like, he's still the top goal scorer in the Premier League. He scored 8 goals, but he's looking normal.
Yeah, and I think that's cause for concern for Man City fans and the Man City hierarchy itself is that if there's no supply line towards Haaland, he seems
It starts looking a little funny.
So he's not. He looks like he's not the kind of player that will drag Man City, out of dire situations all by himself. He needs things to work together for him to.
And there were times where it felt like City were with a man down because Arsenal, the way every single body on the pitch gets involved in link-up, his switch drops so deep. With City, it's like Haaland wasn't really touching the ball. Gabriel and Saliba kept him quiet for most of the time. He was trying to break out and then escape sometimes, but Saliba is bloody quick as well, and it just didn't work out for him.
Yeah.
Like, it was a fail comp.
I think.
But that is those are the key talking points I think from that match. A
Yeah.
very big game. We have bigger games to come. The second half of the international break is another international break. As we know, the first two come quickly in the season. Then we have a break for the breaks for a while.
For a while,
which is
yeah,
great.
yeah. I mean, we're not excited about the international break, but yeah, it is what it is. We're going to have to do it.
It is. I would have liked to go into the break on a W, but that wasn't the case. I guess we can touch on the Liverpool match whilst we're here. Decent result is Brighton, 2-2 against Brighton, still in the top 3. I actually saw something, out of the top 8 in the Premier League right now, Liverpool have played every team except for City and Arsenal. So it's been a difficult start to the season, maybe not as difficult as Arsenal because they played 2 of the, United I don't think we're in the top 8, but yeah. So we probably played more of the top 8 sides. So yeah, all things considered, being here, third here, 3 points off the top, I would definitely have liked to beat Brighton. It was an opportunity for a statement. When if we beat Brighton, we could have been top of the table now on goal difference. That didn't happen, but I'll take results. I'm not mad about it.
I definitely feel like it was a good result for Liverpool because I feel like if Liverpool had won, they would have thought that they were there already. Liverpool would have thought, I think there's still something about that Liverpool squad, conceding first all the time, conceding goals that you normally wouldn't expect Liverpool to concede. So I think there's still something about that Liverpool side that needs to be tweaked. I don't know what exactly it is. I'm not really, I'm not in tune with Liverpool that much, but something needs to be done to, get Liverpool just above where they are at the moment.
I think with Liverpool, it's
And
been,
if they had won that game, you might have felt like, so that game sort of just showed that,
yeah, it did temper expectations a bit, but I feel whilst Liverpool have looked dirty through the season, I think to say that without adding the context of the things that have happened to Liverpool in these first 8 games of the season, it's crazy. We've seen 4 different players sent off. These are 4 players that were starters, so they
but you can't make excuses
No,
like that
because
because Manchester United too, you're not giving Manchester United that kind of context.
No, I mean,
with
if Manchester United,
the entire
I
defense
think if Manchester United
is injured.
No, that's context obviously. So that's why Manchester United should not be doing as well as they should be.
So,
but I think it's a different level of context when you're saying that Liverpool have played like almost half of their matches now with a player minus. Like we played a match with 9 men. We played multiple matches where our red card is like with 10 men at like the 60th minute. So we just been in a mode where a lot of these matches were like just hang on to the end of the match. And then, like I said, the red card is about who is missing in the other match. I think with this match against Brighton, what makes our X factor right now is I think our attack is just unbelievable. So what tends to happen is team scores first, but we've scored, most of our matches have been 3-1 because we've just found those goals. And then now when you have Jota injured, Gakpo injured, so you couldn't bring either of them on change game. And a player that people don't give credit for in Liverpool, who I think Curtis Jones is the glue. If you look at, if Liverpool were on an unbeaten run in the Premier League of like 15 games going back in last season, and that happened when they brought Curtis Jones back into the side. So the fact that Curtis Jones gets a red card, you don't win that game, then he doesn't play again, and you drop more points. The proof is in the pudding. Curtis Jones must play for Liverpool Football Club.
Yeah, I think so too.
Still on the Premier League and results, there was a very big result for Manchester United, who have finally stopped the bleeding in Manchester United circumstances. I feel like so it's a great result. I know 3 points matter, but it's still quite worrying because that match, like we saw, we had to be turned on his head late in the game. Miraculous circumstances to get the result. Brentford looked good most of the game. How do you feel having watched that game?
Yeah, Brentford looked good most of the game because they decided to sit back and defend. You know, and it's good to see when players, when teams come with that kind of negative mindset and they end up losing. I don't pity those kinds of teams. Yeah, great. But of course, that context about Manchester United and that defense, we're using a partnership of Maguire and Johnny Evans in 2023.
Maguire looked good.
He did look good. He did look
For
good.
the first time in years.
He did look good, quite all right, and he assisted the second goal still. But it's very shaky. Yeah, our starting defense is not available at the moment. There's no Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez, and Luke Shaw. All of them are injured, and so that sort of puts things in perspective for Manchester United. But it was good. It was good to have that win. Manchester United were staring down the barrel of a fourth straight win for the first time. Fourth straight defeat, I beg your pardon, for the first time in so many years.
Yeah, I don't know if
it looked really bad, but yeah, massive props
Shout
to
out
Scott McTominay. Yes, his heroics at Scotland, he managed to, bring it.
I think Scott has been misprofiled. Like, yes, he's tall and he's English, but he's not a defensive midfielder.
I think so.
He has an eye for goal that we keep seeing, and they're big goals as well. This is not his first rodeo. He's had these moments for club and country.
Manchester City last season.
It's not his first rodeo. McTominay does this, and yeah, it's a very big moment for him. I think he should get starts now. Like that type, things like that have to be rewarded. Like it's football. I don't like tactics. Take everything out the window. Scott McTominay should start the next match because these are the players Manchester United need. Like when you look around and you see players that will fight for the club. He's one of those players that I get that impression from, that he's happy to be here and wants to prove himself at Manchester United. Yeah. So yeah, very big moment for him. Like Chelsea have also stopped the bleeding. Things are shaping up all right for Chelsea.
Yes, massive win for Chelsea. 4-1, Nicholas Jackson on the score sheet. Raheem Sterling looked good. And yeah, they're looking good.
Yeah, Chelsea piecing it together. They're climbing. Well, yeah, they're still around there, around mid-table, but it's not bad. They're right there in and around Manchester United. They could have gone above Manchester United if not for the Scott McTominay brace. So they actually sat above Manchester United for a period there, which was quite worrying. As in, you could have had an awkward episode and an awkward day at this office if Chelsea were ahead of Manchester United.
But it just couldn't happen.
But it could happen. United going to the break. All right. Going to the break on 3 points, Chelsea on 3 points. I think this break will come for a good time for most of the clubs, even though we don't want it. But because of how many injuries we've had, it's come at a good time. It gives Gakpo time to injure, Thiago time to injure, all United's backline that's injured. Martinelli can freshen up. Saka doesn't have to meet yet another game. It's come at a good time for the league considering the fixture congestion. But that's the Premier League. That's our recap on what happened to the big boys in the Premier League. The boys at the bottom, the newly promoted guys. I think this is the worst crop of newly promoted guys.
I tell you, because Burnley, Sheffield, and Luton
have one win between all three of them. It's looking bad. It's still looking bad. It stays bad over the weekend. We'll see if either of them can turn it around. But I think early predictions, those are probably 3 sides that will
go down.
Their managers are probably going to start getting shuffled around soon enough to see who can piece it together. But we're going to leave the Premier League for now and move over to Serie A, where something crazy happened. Olivier Giroud, you remember him, Arsenal striker, France record team, goal scorer, went in goal and is a pretty good goalkeeper.
It's interesting to see that somebody who's prolific for scoring goals ended up coming back to to stop goals from going in.
And did that?
Yeah, he did. I saw that one very good save that he made. But yeah, it was good. And then to cap it up, AC Milan played a joke on that, on that situation. They put Olivier Giroud as a goalkeeper on their website. I thought that was funny.
I mean, he's making saves. There are probably some goalkeepers he's made more saves than this season. So give him his flowers for that. Olivier Giroud, ST/GK.
Right.
Still in Syria, there's some news that I don't know if we touched on it, but we've touched on this player quite a lot over the last 4 years. As in the media, wherever he goes, the story goes. And from his performances, we've heard stories about rituals. He's been at the top, he's been at the bottom, he's been everywhere. And this is a new dynamic to the Paul Pogba story. He's going to be banned for doping.
Yeah, and it's just unfortunate to see the career of such a promising young talent end up this way. All the scandals, all the controversies have just been, it has just been really bad. This is not the legacy he would have wanted to, to leave football with. But yeah, he's been found guilty of doping. There was the first test, it came back positive for, I think testosterone, and then there was a second feedback, I think backup kind of thing that they normally do, and it came back positive again. So he can't shake this one
I mean,
off.
maybe he can try all because we do hear this, like, I guess when it happened to Nana, he said he took some pills that he didn't know they were his wife's pills, and then he had it banned off. But with this reading as testosterone, I don't know how
this is one of those ones that you either take intentionally or you don't take at all.
I think it's all these because of sports science, all the products they're giving them, you don't know what's inside. Maybe something has a percentage of testosterone that's more than what. So you'll probably try and find any loophole in it, but it's not looking great for Paul Pogba. And because of where Paul Pogba's career is now, you can't really see the club that will go to bat for Paul Pogba.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like you said, it's a sad story because this is one of the most talented midfielders I've ever seen. Yep. And you look at how good Jude Bellingham is, and Paul Pogba looked like a better prodigy than
I think so.
He was better than him, but it's unfortunate. Speaking on Jude Bellingham really quickly, he's still doing Jude Bellingham.
I mean, 10 goals in 10.
He's starting his career like he's Cristiano Ronaldo, and it's unheard of.
Yeah.
But that's our brief recap on European football that happened over the weekend. We didn't see you on Friday, so we touched on some things that happened, some of the news that happened around then as well.
Yep.
It's the international break coming up. We all dread the international break, but yeah, go out, touch some grass, have some fun with your family.
Yeah, I mean, I think Super Eagles will play some fixtures.
Yeah, but we've already qualified.
Yeah,
so
qualified.
It could be a good chance to see. We have a lot of talented players, a lot of strikers. It might be a good chance to see some other people get minutes now, seeing as they're playing for games.
Exactly. Gibbs Orban has been called into the squad. Victor Boniface, who's doing madness in Leverkusen.
So that'll be an exciting one to keep an eye on. We'll obviously keep you posted on all the matches that happen during the break next time we see you. Thanks for joining us. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Peace and love.